Welcome to the NZ Nomad Runner podcast. It's good to be back. It's been a while since we've done a podcast. I'm Chris Lucas.
And I'm Charlotte Milne.
We're run coaches at CMF Running, where we coach runners and athletes of all abilities to any surface, any distance races. This podcast is brought to you by the CMF Run Club. $60 a year to join our CMF Run Club membership, unlimited training plans, epic online and in-person community, discount codes galore, and it helps to support content like this. Yay!
Yay!
Today's podcast, what are we talking about?
We're talking about Blue Lake.
Blue Lake. Oh my goodness.
Rolled around again.
Yes, so today is Tuesday of Blue Lake
Race week.
weekend. Race week? What is it? You don't call it a race? Event week?
Event week, yeah.
Thing week? Party week?
Looping week.
Fun week. And it is so much of all those things, isn't it, Blue Lake? It's a bit of everything. It's so much it's so much fun, connecting with people, social time. There's a training element. People are training for things. Some people are trying to do something that they've never done before. Maybe they're running their furthest run they've ever run. Maybe they're going through the night for the first time.
Yeah, it's even though a lot of us train all year round, I think it's like that coinciding of, obviously daylight saving starting, and then it's like, not that long to maybe like Rotorua. So it sort of feels like, either like a reset or the start of your season potentially. And yeah, it's just growing into an event that, is of its own, and you can go there and achieve some pretty awesome stuff. Like Chris said, from the 1 to 2 laps to going to 24 hours. It caters for all sorts of runners. And yeah, it's come into its own. I feel like we were sort of saying that before the podcast, this is our 7th year going.
7th in a row.
7th in a row. We went there when we were very, very new.
Yes.
Pretty much not even together. So it also coincides with being 6 years together. But yeah, it definitely feels like it's changed a lot over those 7 years. And yeah, it's a good fun event. And it's like a big grouping of all, I suppose with being a looped event, like you see like so many people obviously throughout the day, right? Opposed to like a point to point, like you never see everyone.
That's what I really like about it too.
Yeah.
And it's different to like a backyard ultra where it's lap on the hour every hour. This is a lot different. There's a lot more casualness to it as well, if you want it to be that way. It certainly is like that for me. It's as a coach and connecting with our community and wider community of friends as well, is like that element of just being able to stop and start whenever you like, to have some yarns, or I'll go and do a lap with someone, and then I'll stick around at the base and wait for. I'm like, I've got to catch up with so and so, do a lap with them, so I'll just wait until they make their lap, and they're like, hey, let's go for a lap. That's what I really love about it.
For sure.
It's so cool. But yeah, so it is a special event for us, isn't it? This Blue Lake, like you said, first, it was very new together when we first went, and I did one of my, I was training for the Tarawera 100 miler at the time, so I did the 2020 100 miler at Tarawera, and so that was part of my training build. And another reason why it's special to us is my sobriety birthday always coincides with right around the event period. So this year it's Friday, so it's the day before the event. 18 years of sobriety, clean and sober, this Friday. So it's pretty cool. So it's always like that special for many reasons, isn't it? And I think the other thing as well, for us, as a couple, is it just started off us going there, and then obviously along 2020 CMF, we started doing that, and it's turned into one of those key times of our year and events where we bring our CMF community together for all kinds of reasons as well.
Yeah, for sure. It's become way less about us and more about everyone else, it's not just Chris and Char going away for a weekend and running some loops.
It's a very hard event for us to have our own running goals. We were just talking about that before. You were like, you should do 100 Ks. I'm like, there's no way I can do 100 Ks. Even last year, I think I remember I had planned to do a lot more than what I did because I just ended up, you just end up talking and catching up with people, and you just have to surrender like your own goals.
Yeah, for sure.
But that is the goal, I think, connection. And I get so much out of so we have our shared CMF gazebo there. It's something we've started doing in recent years, where we join up joining up 3 his and hers gazebos together, opening it all up, and having a big shared gazebo for anyone really who wants to join. But our CMF community, and it's so awesome because we have a bunch of our runners doing all kinds of different stuff, and then we'll have 3 or 4 going overnight, and so that's what I really enjoyed, was staying up all night. One of my favorite parts of last year was just being awake all night and crewing those runners that were going overnight.
Yeah, cool.
And also that's how we met Holly Brown.
Yes.
Who is now one of our coaches. So I met Holly. She wasn't in our gazebo last year. She happened to just be a couple down, and she was doing lap an hour. And it was about 2:00 in the morning, and I see Holly, and she's just looking amazing. She's looking amazing. She's hardly done any running. Looking very fresh for 2 in the morning. And then I find out she didn't have any crew at that particular time through the night, and then so I started. Not that she really actually needed much crew help, but ended up helping her with a couple of things, and connected with her, and bit of crewing work, and then ended up coaching her for her Tarawera Maila after that, and then she's ended up joining our team as a CMF coach, which is a pretty awesome story.
So long story short, you never know what's going to happen at Blue Lake.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen.
Find a new relationship. You could find a friend. You could find another business partner.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and we're talking about Chris and Felicity. Blue Lake, one of the Blue Lake founding team members, Chris Townley and his wife met at Blue Lake.
Yes, they did.
We believe.
Yeah.
That is correct, eh? Yeah. And so there you go. You can find a husband or a wife at Blue Lake as well.
Funny.
I'd love to, if you have other stories like that, share them in the comments below, because I bet you there's more stories like that, eh?
Yeah, you just get stuck, or not stuck, but just collide, on a loop, many loops together.
Yeah. Well, that's what we did the first year, eh? We were doing heaps of loops together, eh?
Sort of. We had been seeing each other sort of before Blue Lake
for a few weeks, eh?
Yeah. And I drove down from Auckland actually on the Saturday because I had to work in the morning. Drove down very eager, and because I had never done trail running, and I was off to the races. I was this is so much fun. And Chris was sort of a bit more chilled than me, but we probably did share a few laps together, and you ran I think 80-ish Ks. I ran 60. It was great fun. And it's kind of that little story.
That was cool, eh?
Yeah.
You had no headlamp?
Had no headlamp, and Chris Townley gave me a hard time about that, which was...
Obviously, she got a headlamp somewhere.
And I continued on because, it's not like we went all through the night. I think we must have stopped at
9 or 10 or something. Yeah.
But had enough I think you had tripped over and your shoe had a hole in it.
Yeah.
And you were like, because you were going to do 100 Ks, but I think you stopped around 80.
No, I think I was going to do about, I think I was going to do 80-ish, but maybe I stopped at 70-ish or something.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Details.
Yeah. Details.
Long story short, I don't know what that is.
So yeah, I think that highlights a cool, like, sort of cope-upper almost of the event, isn't it? Like, we're all here to help each other, I think. It's something that I've seen at Blue Lake time and time again, eh? And like you with the light. So yeah, I've seen it many times, people helping people, sharing spots in gazebos, that kind of thing. Yeah,
for sure.
So yeah, if you see me lurking around, or us lurking around during the night,
don't run away from us.
Yeah. If you need something, you need some help, give us a shout out. Just ask, And on that asking for help topic, yes, we do have a CMF shared gazebo there. It is pretty much full. But if you are coming to Blue Lake and you are stuck for a gazebo spot for whatever reason, maybe they sold out before you're able to secure your spot, whatever, and you are stuck, just reach out to us and we'll see what we can do. We can probably squeeze a couple more people in, especially if you're coming for like the day and the evening and not going overnight.
Mm-hmm.
We can definitely squeeze a couple in.
Cool.
Probably a bit tight if you're planning on going overnight and being there all day, because we've got a few doing that already, because they tend to bring everything in the kitchen sink.
Right,
the overnighters, they just need more stuff.
Yeah, well, it's 24 hours,
Yeah. But if you're a day visitor,
yeah,
surely reach out to us and see what we can do.
Sounds great.
Yay! Should we should we start with sort of describing Blue Lake, the sort of lay of the land? Because I know every year, I feel like at least half the field every year is new. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Putting ourselves in the shoes of someone brand new to Blue Lake, what might they want to know? What's the lay of the land?
So you do the event clockwise around the loop.
Yes. Except for last year, eh?
Was it last year or the year before?
I think it was last year we got sent the opposite way, 2024. And then 2023 was the extremely wet year.
Oh,
2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. But yes, clockwise. I'm almost guarantee you 100% we'll be going clockwise.
It says it on the website, so
Yeah.
No, because that means that there's some one of the biggest things about the Blue Lake Loop is there's the stairs, which are good when you're early on in your in the running, in the looping, but obviously that would get pretty hard if you're going,
so
deeper and deeper.
Talk about the loop, I guess.
Yeah,
So there's a couple of flights of stairs, isn't there?
Yeah, there are. Yeah,
there's one short and steep one, and then a longer set, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Of like big, deeper stairs.
Well, yeah, they're kind of deep, and then they get shorter and shorter as well.
and each loop, they get steeper and steeper.
Yes.
There's someone there in the background winding the gradient up every loop you go around, just to make it harder and harder. But that's a key thing to mention is when you're fresh, basically just never run the stairs. Okay.
Yeah, that is quite
just
a hard
don't
effort.
Run the stairs.
Quite a hard effort to run those stairs.
Yeah.
You would be sort of thresholding effort by the top of it.
I mean, it's funny. I'd have to ask even. I wonder, with Simon who did 200 k's.
I was just thinking that.
I would say I would even hazard to bet that he wouldn't have even run those stairs. You know what I mean?
Well,
you just hike up them quite fast.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you can hike pretty fast, right? And it's not such a, not so taxing cardiovascularly, right? So, it's, you sort of can transition from running a bit more smoothly, you would say, than if you were to run up them and then you kind of like are like and then carry on.
It's just the load on the legs, eh?
Yeah, lactic.
Legs.
You get like lactic acid build up from running up them.
Yes,
yeah,
big time.
And then you're like need to flush it out.
You just like shred your quads, big time. So yeah, even if I was doing like 50 Ks, like solid effort, race 50 Ks, which isn't a far distance for me. Been running a long time, ultra running and all that. I would not be running the stairs.
No, well, there's plenty
because especially that second set of stairs as well, because you do the big longer, you do the long that climb of stairs, and then you're straight into like that gradual up straight afterwards, which goes for quite a while, eh?
Definitely, but
that's like a K or a K and a half, that gradual up, I think, or something like that.
It's actually, but it's quite depending on, obviously like your experience as a runner and what you're doing, but it's like a gradient that you can definitely run up quite confidently. And yeah, there's definitely like some, I can think of other patches that there's steeper inclines throughout the course in that gradual uphill. So if you've taxed yourself up the stairs, then it's going to obviously become quite hard work. Whereas like if you were to pace yourself up the stairs, then you can run up that hill with relative, confidence and
if you're going shorter though.
Okay.
I definitely wouldn't run up there if you were going overnight.
I guess, yeah.
Maybe just the first bit, eh? The first little bit's kind of all right. You can kind of jog up.
Yeah.
But from, I would say most like mid-pack runners or whatever, yeah, you'd want to be hiking up that. Yeah. Basically, I mean, if you're going like 24 hours, maybe it's your first time on your feet for 24 hours, then you definitely don't want to be like running up anything that even resembles an uphill. You just want to be power hiking those ups and looking at jogging those flats and downs, eh?
Yeah, because after that there's quite a good downhill as well. So obviously,
yeah,
and
that's such a good downhill after that.
So obviously you can always run faster downhill because it's downhill. So save your legs for that. Nice windy downhill.
Yeah, and that whole period actually, like from you have the stairs and then that 1K or whatever it is up that thing, and then the rest of the actual loop to back to base from there is actually kind of nice running, isn't it? Like you said, that downhill, then it's a lot of it is quite nice. A couple of little pinches, but it's quite good running from there.
Yeah, so the loop has like 100 meters of elevation in like 6Ks. So obviously it's not flat, but obviously it's not like crazy hilly. And a lot of that would be taken up in the stairs that we've talked about that you're already walking. And there's another set of stairs that's like short and quite, grunty.
Yeah.
So, it's not, you're not looking at, because there's no poles.
Yeah, no poles.
And there's no big requirement to use poles. Because
you're not allowed to.
Not allowed to.
Don't bring poles.
But yeah, the hills are of pretty decent, either running or walking. So big steep sort of Wellington kind of type hills in Rotorua.
Yes. But I guess what we are expecting this, because it's pure shite weather right now down here in the Hutt region where we are, and it's crap all over the North Island. And it is forecast for rain on Saturday. Not ridiculous rain at this point by the looks of it, but it's going to be wet.
Yeah.
The trails are going to be wet, and by the time 800 odd people run continuously around this loop a few times, it's going to be muddy. That's going to be the main problem, actually.
Yeah, it's going to make it harder.
Yeah, very hard. Yeah. Do you remember
I'm the optimist. You can run the hill, it'll be fine.
Remember like the wet year, eh? Like 2 years ago. Did you run much that year? It's
just thinking about my time at Blue Lake. I'm pretty sure my first year back in 2019 was my biggest sort of
run at Blue Lake.
run. Like I did run 60Ks last year, but it was a real struggle. And it was over a long period of time. I think in 23 I did like 50Ks over like 10 hours.
That's right.
I was stopping and starting. It was actually really fun. I enjoyed that year.
That was the year the course got closed down at around 11 p.m. or midnight or something. That was just torrential rain the entire day and night. Like it literally, it was crazy as well because Friday was nice weather and Sunday was good. Saturday it just rained and rained. I think it started raining early in the morning, during the night, Friday night or something. And it was just torrential rain the entire day. Yeah, and it was just insane. It was just so insane.
Wonder if you could overlay the picture of you holding a piece of fruitcake when you finished.
Yes.
Because it was really muddy. Like obviously it gets really muddy. Got really muddy in like in the tent kind of city because you know, there's runners there, but there's also crew people there. And people are stopping. It was just super muddy. Yeah.
I suspect that's going to happen again this year, actually. Like, just because, it's like the grass little tracks that go through the tent village. And, it's just going to be, once people run over that, it's just, and that's what it was like that year. It was just
slightly downhill as well.
Yeah. It was, that's right. It was just like pure mud. Yeah. The slight downhill through tent village was just ridiculous. You're like, whoa.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. And that downhill, on the loop itself, you know, that in that section we were just talking about before, towards the end of the loop before you get to back to tent village, there's like a steep little downhill, and that was just insane as well. We're really selling it. We're really selling us to you, aren't we?
Like,
we're really selling it to you.
It's very pretty.
But bring your you know, what is it? Bring your trail shoes. Like the ones with the real grunty legs on them. Yeah. Don't bring your like soft terrain ones. Yeah. Bring the gruntiest pair you got. Yeah.
For sure.
And what else? You got the start of the loop itself is you got that sort of road section, don't you? Or, you know, the bit that goes alongside the Tarawera Road, where you're on the sort of gravel path and that kind of thing before you go onto the trail. Yeah,
it's just a really good, decent loop. Like it's got some single trail in it after that, and then it's got a bit of a beach, then the stairs, and then it's got that wide, slightly uphill, then it's got the wide downhill, and then it's a bit undulating kind of thing, and then there's another little steep downhill. And then you kind of pop out onto the lakeside and it's sort of like, pretty single track kind of flashish downhill all the way to the start again.
So the actual trail loop around Blue Lake is about 5.5 Ks or 5.6 Ks, I think it is. But there's an extra 400 or 500 meters of course that goes around the tent village sort of thing, or around and through the tent village, isn't it?
Yeah, and of course with this
gives us 6 Ks.
Yeah. And of course with this event you like tick off your you put your name on a board, whether you're just a general looper or if you're doing an event like 100K midnight marathon, like an hour, and you tick off each lap that you do loop.
Yeah.
You do.
Very low key.
Yeah.
No bibs, no timing max.
Well, there are bibs if you want photos.
Yes. If you have, I suppose that is still a thing. Yes. Surely must be. If you have an old bib kicking around from a previous race, bring it along and wear it. I believe that's still a thing. I wouldn't see why it's not. Then Alan and his team, or Alan, will be there from photos for sale, snapping pictures, and if you have your bib on, obviously just going to make it easier for you to find your photos afterwards. I think that is a hot tip.
I think they do supply some bibs as well.
Yeah, there's some kicking around. Yeah. But that is a good thing to do because, the photos are seriously amazing. Alan takes such great photos, and the trail is beautiful. And that's the thing about this trail, as I mentioned before, it is only a 6-kilometre course, but it's got some amazing variation in it, isn't it?
Yeah.
This little trail. It's got, like you were talking about with the different sections. For such a short little trail, it's got so much variation.
Yeah, it's like it's a perfect loop really, because especially if you're going long, right? It's like, there's not such a mental barrier in terms of like, this is a boring course.
No.
Because it's not,
No.
because there's like heaps to keep you entertained. Obviously when you do, many loops, things get somewhat repetitive. And obviously when you're going for something really ambitious, like, the miler or the claw or something like that, like, you're going to be there with a bit more like, oh, look at this. You're not going to be like, oh, look at this nice tree kind of thing. You're just going to be a little bit more like, I'm racing.
Not as much socializing going on.
Yeah. But, it does help when you're in a nice trail, right? Regardless of the intensity that you're going at.
Absolutely. So yes, the board you were mentioning. So there's a big event kind of marquee there, where the course sort of passes through the marquee as you are coming into Tent Village. That's right. So you complete your Blue Lake loop, you run up the little hill, and if you've done Tarawera before, it's exactly where the Blue Lake aid station is for that event. And you basically come through the event marquee, and there's a big long thing of boards, and there's all these different categories of what different options there are. And there is different categories, although you can essentially do what you like.
Yes.
There's all the claw, which is the 200 kilometers, and there's a 100k category,
and the miler,
100-mile category. What else is there? There's general participants category.
That's the biggest one.
Yeah. That's where I'll put my name. It's just like that's
I'll
just
be there as well.
Casual lapping.
And then there's lap an hour, the midnight marathon, the 4 a.m. half marathon. And I think that's all that I can think of.
There's a Tarawera
qualifier,
100-mile qualifier category as well.
Yes.
And that is 14 loops?
14 loops in 12 hours.
Yes.
It has to be like a clean GPX file, so don't do 15 laps, basically, and just stop at the 14 and save it.
Then you can do some more laps.
Sorry, it won't look as great on your Strava,
but
it will look great on race day when you've gone and done Tarawera.
That's what it says on the website anyway.
Yes.
On the blue.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and then when you first arrive to Blue Lake, either on Friday evening to set up or Saturday morning, then you can just chuck your name on the board. What you're going to do, and then as you come around each loop, you literally grab a Vivid and a marker, and you just put a 1.
Yeah. You just have to memorize where you put your name, obviously.
Yeah.
So you can go like that with the Vivid, and then off you go.
Yeah. And those Vivids, they're just like on the ground. It gets harder and harder to pick them up as you get. The more and more laps you do, the harder it is to pick them up.
Yeah, you can just be that guy that gets it off the previous person.
Yeah. So there's some good strategy around if you are going like competitive, there's some good strategy around.
Yeah, grab a Vivid from someone else opposed to off the ground.
Yeah.
And don't put your name down the bottom of the of the board.
Yeah. Put it nice eye level.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
Just measure it.
Yeah. Little tricks like that.
Yeah.
So that kind of covers the thing. The Tent Village is, I believe it's on the website, isn't it? I think after 2 p.m. on Friday it opens. You can come and start to set up. Don't come beforehand. Unless you want to help the event set up. Unless you want to get roped into setting up the event marquee and whatnot.
Yes. It's a good thing to do.
Yes. But come after 2 p.m. to set up, and you'll just be directed on where to. Obviously, you will get first in, I believe, and where you get set up and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, and obviously you can stay there overnight as well, right? That's right, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah. So whether you're staying in a gazebo or if you're staying in your car, staying in your tent on your tent site, you can stay there on site overnight. opposed to like needing to find other accommodation elsewhere. So yeah, bring your sleeping bag.
Bring a good sleeping bag.
Yeah.
Like the warm one.
And hopefully a mattress.
Yeah. Cool. So,
and I was just thinking that due to the, numerous amounts of backyard ultras, like the picture of like the tent city, like it should be somewhat familiar to how you have seen it at other backyard ultras, which this obviously isn't, but similar, setup. So that's what it looks like.
It's pretty cool. I love how it's been set up like that in the last few years. It's like the actual course runs through the center, and then off and you have a bunch of gazebos in the center thing, and then off that is basically rows going the other way like that. It's pretty cool.
So I think that's describing Blue Lake pretty well. Other than that, it's always good to have an element of some surprise with these things. We wouldn't be trail runners if we weren't somewhat of adventure seekers, or like, I was going to say risk takers, but getting outside our comfort zone. If it's not every run that goes and runs 50Ks, 80Ks, 100Ks, 100 miles, 200Ks. It's not everyone does that, even though it seems somewhat normal when you hang out with other runners. So, we all like a bit of, element of, what's the words again? Element of surprise.
Cool.
Challenging. Cool.
So should we get into FAQs?
Yes.
All right, so we got some FAQs now. We put a story out yesterday, and had a lot of responses from folks for frequently asked Blue Lake frequently asked questions, which is awesome. Thank you for sending in those questions. First one, advice for the person going 24 hours for the first time.
Go slow at the start.
Yeah, go slow. So, this is a key thing. Everyone's sort of starting off. I mean, you can start later, obviously, but the event starts at 8 a.m. Saturday morning. And if you're planning on going 24 hours, just remember that there's other people that are starting at the same time as you, doing all sorts of other things. They could just be doing 2 laps, 2 hot laps.
12K PB.
Yeah, or someone could be running 50Ks, and that kind of thing. So the important thing is, if you're going 24 hours for the first time, is to just do your own intensity, do your own run, work your own pace. And for most folks going 24 hours for the first time, that means walking that first little uphill as you have left Tent Village going up the side of Tarawera Road.
Yeah, so think run about 300 meters and then walk.
Yeah. So it literally just means and it's that old saying, isn't it? If you think you're going to be walking that hill at 2 o'clock in the morning, then I would recommend walking it from the start. You'll just be a lot more stronger and consistent throughout the evening, the night, the overnight, if you don't go out too hard. So that's a number one piece of advice to the person going 24 hours for the first time, is just pace your own run, and just go early on the on your rest breaks kind of thing. Just don't blow out during the day and then needing to stop for 2 hours at night and that kind of thing. And so it's a good place to talk about. I've got a couple of my runners I'm coaching one-on-one, and one of them is going training towards Tarawera 100 miler. The other one is training towards Spectacle 100 miler. Both are there for 24 hours, but we have different goals. So Hayden, who's doing the miler, we're doing it in 2 chunks, because at this stage of the training and the lead-in, we didn't want to just do go out there for 24 hours. So what we're doing with him is doing it in 2 shifts. So he's doing 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday during the day. So a 6 hour, is that 6 hours? Yes, 6 hours of running. Then he's having a 6-hour break. So at 2 p.m. he'll go away from the event, go and have a shower, go and have some food, go and have a rest, and then he's going to come back and start running at 8 p.m. again and do the overnight, because that's the key part for for a lot of people training towards their first miler. It's not necessarily about getting that whole thing out there on your feet. For a lot of us, it's about getting that nighttime, that overnight practice. Because for a lot of people, maybe if they're a 30-hour 100-miler, for example, then on race day, when it comes to race day, you're going through the night and into the next day.
Yes.
You know?
You have to go through those tedious hours between like 4 a.m. in daylight. It's pretty hard.
Yeah, that's always the worst part. It's like, it's not the 2 o'clock in the morning, not too bad. It's the 4, 5
6
in the morning.
6:30,
Yeah.
7.
It's like that bit right before
Yeah.
daylight. It's the hardest.
Yeah, well, because it's just that much longer, right? You know, you've been in 2 a.m., you've got at 4, it's 2 more hours that you've been in the dark, which is quite a long time on top of all the other hours. But yeah, so it's just good practice. And then like, obviously people like Hayden obviously can go have a nap, but in those 6 hours. But obviously in a miler, like you've also been up for probably over 24 hours, especially if you're doing something like Tarawera, because it starts at 4 o'clock. You would have got up at 2:45 or whatever it would have been.
After having like 4 hours sleep.
Yeah, for sure. So it's just good practice. You know, speaking from experience, one of the biggest things that caught me out when I did Faultline Milo was, being awake, for over 20
time ever.
over 24 hours. Because when I crewed Chris, like I had naps, and I obviously know that Hayden or the like are going to have naps, and it's not quite the same, but it's good enough for a practice run.
Yeah, perfect. So having that break is perfect for what we're after out of this run, because then the recovery on the other side is not such a huge swing. This individual will be able to recover from this relatively fast, given the lead-in that we've had, and then we're back on the Tarawera horse, so to speak.
Training again.
Being able to like train again, relatively after a couple of weeks. So yeah, that's the thing. And then Kyle, who's doing Spectacle 100 miler. Well, Spectacle miler is in December, and so with him, and he has been through the night before and done quite a bit of missioning, and did the 100K at Faultline this year and that kind of thing. So with him, it's a little bit different. We're doing 24 hours on the feet, but it's compulsory 10-minute breaks each lap.
Nice.
And then every 4 hours, it's 20 minutes. So every lap, 10 minutes to do your things, restock your whatever, and then have a little rest for X amount of time, 5 minutes, whatever. And then every 4 hours, you got 20 minutes to do the long. And so, yeah, that just spaces out. That just has the runner fresher in theory, and the night and the overnight again. So they're able to be, feel strong, going through the night, not so depleted, and again, get the most out of that overnight period. Which is great for building confidence, going forward, in the training.
Yeah, and another thing about 24 hours is don't forget to fuel early. If you're sort of fueling really well at the start, or you just start of the run, you're definitely going to be feeling better at 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, opposed to if you've just sort of wait until you've gotten hungry. But I feel with the whole notion of fueling very well these days, then hopefully you've got a good fueling strategy. But yeah, it's definitely a big, once you've got the carbs flowing into your system and you've set out at a good sort of consistent pace, walking the hills, not too fast, your body will sort of adjust oh, okay, so we're going this sort of output for this long. And if you've done some training, obviously leading into this, if you're going to 24 hours, then you'll be able to do it, with relative ease opposed to like if you've gone out too fast, haven't fueled, obviously haven't done the training, then it's just going to be like such a slog. You know, it's come 16 hours kind of vibes. So, you know, 24 hours, you know,
it's a long time.
It is a long time, but it is possible if you do the basics right. And yeah.
Go and check out, we've recorded podcasts before on ultramarathon fueling. There's a couple floating around. Just go and check out the channel on YouTube, Spotify, and do a search up. And we've done stuff on ultramarathon, ultra fueling. There's a couple of things out there. So yeah, go and check them out if you want to know a bit more. Someone asked about night running, like as in like just the actual mechanics, the doing of it, the headlamp. Hopefully you got a good, decent enough headlamp so you can see where you're going.
You know, I suppose it's one of those things if you're a bit hesitant or not as confident, and like I think even as a first timer, like there's a degree of how confident you are. So yeah, light it up, you know, and there's even like waist lights if you're that way inclined, so you can have a waist light and a head torch. And
yeah, or little handhelds as well. You know, you can get little you know, little handheld torches as well.
Just get a whole bloody just get a floodlight to follow you, and you just be brighter than it was in the day. No, and like you have to remember, like blue light is a good thing for this, because if you've provided you're going into the night, maybe you've done some day loops as well, even if it is like in the evening, and so you would have some like muscle memory of the course as well.
That's cool.
And so it's a good place to do this. And obviously, like first time hesitant, whether you've got one head torch, you've got multiple, like just go a little slower, right? And just be confident, right? And that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be like boosting it, but it's kind of like if you're driving, I compare it to, like if you're hesitant in bad weather, then it's probably going to be a little bit worse. So if you're like hesitant in the dark, like, and you're like constantly putting the brakes on where maybe you can just be running a bit more, like it is going to make it a bit harder. So it's just sort of finding that line of like walking maybe a little bit more, but also just running where you can as well, because it's as strange as it might seem, it isn't as hard as it may seem as well.
No, once you're going, and I like the analogy of what you said about the driving in night or bad conditions. We we take it for granted because we instinctively, you know, when you're driving at night in bad condition, you tend to slow down or adjust or be more cautious, and so that's a good tip, I think, as well. Like is you just sort of play what's in front of you. Run what's in front of you, and that's the same as if you're it's the same kind of advice that we give for if you're running technical terrain, like even in nice good conditions, you run the course of what's in front of you, and you run to your strengths and that kind of thing. That's another one as well, isn't it?
And obviously, like being dark, like there's less to look at, right? So it's not like you're looking around at the scenery. So, you know, you can be looking down at the ground, right? With your head torch, pointing your head torch down at the ground. And obviously, I find that depending on where you are, like sometimes it's good to tilt your head torch like in various angles, because sometimes obviously it's better, like maybe when you're running downhill, I find like to have my head torch sort of beaming down a little bit more down. But if I'm running on say uphill or maybe the flat, then it's kind of best to be kind of pointing more to the ground.
You can move it. Or if you're going up and you want to see what's the, you can tilt it up to see it.
And I think it's just that intuitiveness of like what's, and like just to fiddle around, experiment, because ultimately like you're still going to be able to see, down as well. And like do things like that in the wider path, obviously, which there's opportunity to do that as well, because you're not gonna, on wider paths there's like less opportunity to trip over, for example, and it's not so like claustrophobic, I guess, as well.
And just make sure you know how your lamp functions. Actually, like I've seen that, like folks, like, maybe you're using a lamp that you haven't used before, or it's fairly new or whatever, and just make sure you have a idea of what the buttons do for the lights and what thing, and so, because otherwise you might put it on full beam without realizing it and run your battery out in like 2 hours, or the other way, you might have it on the lowest thing ever and not actually realize, and you're making things harder for yourself than they need to be. So a good idea as well is to, especially if you're like us, we've got like old headlamps from way back kicking around. Good idea is to kind of just test them, actually, if you haven't used them for a while, as well. Like give them a full charge, and then run them during the day. Just leave them sitting and just time how long's the battery lasting. Just like little tricks like that, to knowing. Yeah, or just going out for little tests. If you haven't done any night running, and you're going to be, maybe you're finishing at 10 o'clock at night at Blue Lake, or maybe you're going to show up at midnight and do the midnight marathon or whatever. And you haven't done a lot of running, well, just go outside at night with your light and just
turn off all your lights in your house and just use your head torch.
Have a tutu with your light to make sure that, just familiarize yourself with it and the battery life, and make sure you got your spare batteries, obviously. And if you get stuck, just come and ask us for a spare light or something as well. Or someone ask the whoever's on the mic, Kurt or Sarah or Sean, just be like, hey, my lamps, and I'll put a shout out. Anyone got a spare lamp? Like that's what the Blue Lake culture is all about, as well.
Speaking from experience.
Oh yeah, you gotta. That's right.
Yeah.
That's good.
I know, just another little final tip is, like, sounds obvious, but this is something that I have done numerous times. Make sure the head torch fits to your head.
Yeah. Comfort,
Yeah. So it's not too loose, obviously too tight.
Yeah, it gives yourself a headache if it's too tight, eh?
And maybe you need to put sometimes putting it straight onto your head can be a little bit uncomfortable. So having a buff or a hat is excuse the pun, but it is a buffer to
the buffer's a buffer
to the head torch to your head can be a good idea as well. So,
just a bit more comfortable.
Looks cool as well.
Yeah. No, I like that one, especially if it's hot as well. Buff, because then you got a little bit of breathing space out the head.
But then sometimes it's a bit hot in the ear, so you have to run
you can adjust it. Yeah.
There's never a dull moment in running. There's
temperature
always something
regulation.
to do.
Yeah.
Adjust and then run, obviously.
Yeah. So obviously, I think, with the night running at Blue Lake this year, it's going to be potentially night, dark, rainy, and muddy. So it's just going to be great.
Have you done your strength work?
Yeah. So FAQ, what's on site? Like coffee, food, medical team, that kind of thing. What can runners access on site? So there's a couple of there's a coffee van which comes in the morning. They come a couple of times, don't they? They come periodically through the day, but they're definitely there in the morning and more during the day. And I want to say that they do come
in the evening. Like 4?
Maybe. Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
I hope they do. If you're listening to this, coffee van,
yes,
please come in the evening as well.
Obviously, you can bring your own
everything.
You bring your own little element to make your coffee.
Yes,
if you need to.
Yes. So this is a self-supported event.
Yeah.
Bring your everything.
Yeah.
Elements. We'll be bringing our little element things to make things as well.
Yeah.
Food and whatnot. But so coffee's on site. Food. I think there's a burger kind of. I can't remember what their name. Can't remember them, but I do remember the wood-fired pizzas. The wood-fired pizzas are amazing, and I know they're back there this year.
Nothing like pizza.
Yeah, wood-fired pizzas are there, and they do other things as well. And then there's those burger guys that do the real nice burgers as well. They are there. Both those options are amazing.
Cool.
Yeah. They are there at night. What else is medical? Someone asked about medical, like assistance. Yes, there is a medical team there, first responder team, just like you'd expect to see at other events. They are there at event base.
Yeah, they're usually set up quite near like the
event marquee and stuff. Yeah,
just on the other side.
Yep.
And so they're pretty visible.
Yep.
And they're just there for the whole event.
And that's such a cool thing about this event as well, isn't it? You're never more than sort of 2.5 k's from the event base, are you?
No.
You're sort of around the other side of the lake. Yeah, so pretty great from that respect as well. That
actually just reminded me about the markings.
Oh, yes. Well, yeah. Is the course well marked? Is the course well marked?
Yes.
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 The course is very well marked. And seriously, once you've done it once, twice, whatever, it'll be locked in. And it's busy during the day as well with people. Yeah, once you've done it a couple of times, you'll be fine. But yes, the course is really well marked. There's like red arrows, eh? A lot of red arrows. Any other markings? There's a bit of tape here and there. Mostly red arrows, though, I think. Maybe they're going straight, right, whatever. And basically, the clockwise loop, you're always going to have the lake on your right-hand side. Can't go wrong.
Yeah. And there's obviously a couple of intersections where it's like, I could go wrong. But it's usually generally pretty straightforward.
It's so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is a funny thing, right? Like markings, like especially if you've been running for a while, it's dark, you suddenly doubt yourself. Like it is very much a thing. So it's totally normal to ask that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So well marked, markings are close together. You won't get lost. If you stop seeing the lake and you haven't seen anyone for a while and you can't hear the event base anymore, then maybe you've gone off course. You can just turn around and go back to camp.
Maybe.
But no, you'll be right. How do the laps work? We've explained that, haven't we, with the board and ticking off the loops. Can I stop for a few hours and come back? Yeah, we've kind of explained that as well. You can essentially do whatever you like.
Yeah, so there's no...
You can even start later if you want to start at 10 in the morning, noon, whatever.
Yeah, it's not like a normal event in the regards that if essentially like in a normal event, you might DNF, you need to kind of let someone know. This event, you kind of can start when you want and you can leave when you want, and you don't need to tell the race officials that you've done that.
No.
You can just
do it. Fully self-supported.
Yeah. So
the only thing that's different in terms of timing, obviously if you're doing lap an hour, so there is a lap an hour format which runs in conjunction with the do whatever you like format. There is a lap an hour format where obviously if you want to be in that, then you have to start at the start 8 a.m. and you've got to be back at the starting corral for every start of every lap on the hour every hour in order to continue for that category of the run.
For sure.
Yeah, that's the only exception to that one, isn't it?
Yeah, it makes sense, for sure.
Yeah, is there any event rules?
Very minimal. Self-supporting. To bring all the things that you need, food and otherwise. Including
water. Bring your own water.
Cool.
And there is no power. Bring your own charging banks.
Cool.
Battery lights, that kind of thing.
The event, you can do as much or as little in terms of running as you like. That's clockwise only, and there's no poles.
Yeah.
Allowed.
And have fun. Be a good bugger.
Yes.
That's pretty much all the rules. Seriously, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a really casual, turn up, have fun. I guess the only other rules would be around the lap an hour, like we mentioned. If you want to be in that category.
Yeah.
You got to show up at the start of each lap.
Yes.
What's the next one? What if you're being competitive? Tips for not wasting time.
Well, I guess
question.
Yeah, that's good. I guess that kind of comes back to normal, point to point race. So, obviously, having a good fueling strategy, and in terms of what that looks like in your tent. So if that's things like tailwind, having bottles or having sachets or having the bag there, or maybe you've got crew.
Crew help would be a big one if you're looking to be competitive with, maybe you want to run the furthest you've ever run. Maybe you're going for the claw a miler, 180 k's, whatever it is. Yeah, crew help.
Yeah. So obviously, if you're competitive, one would presume that you have trained for the distance that you are wanting to be competitive at. So obviously, you've got your fitness, your training fitness behind you,
and you'd have an idea of what kind of output that you're running as well. Maybe it's like you're running to RPE, or you have heart rate. You run to heart rate or whatever. You'd have some idea of what your energy output needs to be for the amount of distance you're going to do. So it's sticking to the plan. Just point to it.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously, like things on like this more single trail kind of thing, it's just been like, runner on the right. Is it runner on the right?
Passing on your right.
Passing on the right. And people are more than, likely to just step over. So doing things like that.
Yeah.
But obviously a big thing, like anything, and like when you're competitive, and it's like the fueling stuff and how that works, I think, as well.
Yeah. And just that thing of like the distractions, I think, is the big one as well. In the tent village. So if you are being, it is a funny one actually. It's a tricky event to be competitive at if you know a lot of people there, because everyone's like, hey, you're like, sorry, can't talk, got to keep running. So yeah, it is a tricky one to be competitive at when you. I guess it's good to tell people, maybe if you're on social media, do a post. I'm being competitive, but
I reckon
don't talk to me.
Well, yeah. Also, I think you give off a slightly different vibe.
Yeah.
When you're being competitive.
Got the business face on.
Yeah, a bit more.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's a good event, like at the end of the day, like feeding off other people's energy while you're still being competitive is energizing for you. So you don't need to block everyone out. Yeah, it just depends on your nature as well, obviously. Chatty Chrissy over here, Chrissy boy. And I can be a bit of both.
Someone has asked about knowing what the weather's going to be like, tips for staying warm, heat management, that kind of thing. This is where our sort of backyard ultra people come into their own, because they are a seasoned backyard ultra runner. They really know how to look after themselves for going along with all their kit and stuff. So yeah, tips for running in the cold, wet and rain. A key one is making sure you don't get cold. I know that sounds like common sense, but it's better to be, just make sure you got the layers on, like as you get cold. Like once you're wet and it's cold, just make sure you've got sufficient layers. That you're not in a position where you're like get cold as soon as you stop running and that kind of thing. It's just make sure you're a little bit warmer than you need to be, kind of thing. I think is what I'm getting at. So then when you stop, you're not getting cold straight away, and your body's having to work overtime to keep you warm, and that kind of thing. So it's better to stay warm than it is to try and get warm.
I think when it's a bit colder and a bit rainy and a bit shittier, like you're probably going to be moving a little bit slower as well than if it was fine.
Especially once that course gets muddy, eh? Yeah,
so you're just not going to be, producing as much sort of energy keeping yourself warm.
Correct.
So if you have a few more layers on, like it is actually going to be appropriate, even though you're, running for ages. So yeah, you're just but I think if you're warm and all that kind of stuff, like you just again adjust, and you just adjust to like the output, and then you can just get on with what you're there to do, which is running, opposed to like using energy to stay warm, basically.
Yeah. And then if you're like stopping for some rest, like at event base, or to refill things, or you're stopping for a bit, I guess it's about making sure you don't get cold in that period too. Much like a backyard ultra, like Michelle, who recently, one of my athletes that I coach one-on-one, who won Hamner backyard ultra. And that was just about a month or 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks ago it was, 6 or 7 weeks. Michelle will be there this weekend again too. which is exciting. So yeah, Hamner Backyard Ultra was freezing. Snow, sleet, rain, -4. And yeah, the staying warm in between the laps was part of the key thing. Obviously, she had heaps of layers on when running, but it was the in between the laps when she stopped. And I guess, again, that can be where crew is really helpful if you do have crew help. So, and it sort of ties into that thing of if you're being competitive as well, then you're going to have some strategies around like crew interventions and where they insert themselves into what you're doing, and there'll be a thing there about keeping you warm during that. A little bit harder if you're on your own, self-crewing.
But remember Chrissy boy is going to be lurking around.
Well, yeah, for our CMF crew who are in the shared gazebo, all good, because I'll be there helping helping our team. I'll be crewing Michelle, Kyle, and Hayden overnight, which is cool. You will be too.
Yes, I will be there.
We'll be in there, and whoever else is around. And normally there's like 1 or 2 other stragglers that I find who are going overnight trying to self crew, and we end up helping them as well. And which makes it pretty cool.
Yeah, and obviously having something warm to eat. Soup,
yes,
noodles, tea, coffee, like
that's a big
thing that keeps you warm. Is warm hot food. So make sure that you've thought of that as well in your sort of selection of food. And I think just eating enough as well would keep you a bit warmer. So if you're not eating enough, then your body gets cold. Actually.
And our last one from the FAQs is actually a really good one. Should I have a goal distance? So this is sort of talking about the person who is going to Blue Lake to try and run as far as they can in 24 hours, irrespective of, whether it's 100k or a mile or whatever. When you have a distance in mind, should I have a goal distance? When you have a distance in mind, that can then limit what you're actually capable of. So there's two sides to the coin, isn't there? And this is where it's an interesting one. It's a bit like the Backyard Ultra too, right? When you throw a distance out there that you want to get to, sometimes we can actually go much further than that distance as well. But because we put that limit on ourselves mentally of like, this is the distance I'm going to, we can then like sell ourselves a little bit short, on that. And then equally, the other way is having an unrealistic distance goal, or maybe one that we're perhaps not quite ready for, or because the conditions are going to dictate outcomes this weekend for sure. Then having something that's a little bit further away than what we're perhaps ready for, that can then cause us to not be process focused. We lose process of where we're at and what energy output we need to be running at, and perhaps we don't look after ourselves as well as we need to, because I've got to keep going, and so that we end up overreaching beyond what our ability is on that day. And so that's where you get compounding mistakes and that kind of thing, miss that fueling opportunity, and you don't take that extra layer with you. You're just pushing that little bit too hard because the trail's muddy, and so there's so much more energy recruitment required to move yourself through that muddy trail, like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you can.
So it all comes back to process, doesn't it? Like it all comes back to process and not outcome, and running the trail that you're on, running what you're on in that moment.
Just doing the best.
Stay in the moment.
Yes, stay in the moment. Just doing the best, your best on the day, without having an outcome. It's just, if you've done all the work, you've prepared all the food, you've prepared all your clothes, you've you can only literally do your best. And if you've done everything like that, then you're going to be happy, right? Because But if you haven't done like the training, you haven't done the food prep, you haven't, thought about, I should probably get some more gloves or whatever it is, like, and you turn up and you have like this goal of running like 100 Ks, you're just going to be like disappointed because you haven't really put in the work. Like, you've done some of the work, like obviously low hanging fruit, like you've done the training, that's the easy part, right? But if you've done all the things to the best of your ability, then you're just going to do your best and you're going to be happy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
That's pretty much us, isn't it?
I think so.
This has been a great podcast. I've really enjoyed this. And first one back, I think we did well.
Yeah, it's always a bit of a shock to the system.
Good job. So, yeah, thank you for joining us on this podcast. I hope you got a lot out of it. Comment down below any other questions or comments. We'd love to hear from you. Come say hi to us. We'll be there. There's quite a few of the CMF coaching team there too. Emma will be there. Kendall's there. Us. I think it's about a day. Yeah. A whole bunch of crew. So yeah, come say hi. I'd love to see you.
Cool. Sounds great.
Catch you on the next. Oh, we should just mention as well, if you're stuck for a spot, I think we did already mention that. Yes. But if you are stuck for a spot in a gazebo, remember to reach out as well.
Sounds great.
Catch you on the next one. See you this weekend.
Bye.
Bye.